And thanks to all who are coming out to those town halls. Last, I just want to speak to, I've had the opportunity to go to several track meets. And this kind of goes to all of our sports. Is some of my favorite things about attending these track meets at the high school level is you see kids who are literally competing to qualify for state. You know, they are the top of the top, and they're working so hard. And I think we have a lot of athletes in the room because we're recognizing you in a little bit, right? But and then you have those that may not even be clearing the hurdles. So there's a girl that I know, and she's a freshman, and she's starting out the hurdles, and her knees were just bloody because she was hitting them. And I went up to her after, and she goes, "That's okay. I'm going to clear them. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying." And this last track meet I attended, she cleared them. She'd wised up a little bit and put those socks over her knees so she could prevent the blood coming down from them. But you know what? I just kind of thought, in a big, broader viewpoint, it's awesome to provide these opportunities for kids, whether you're barely crossing the finish line or learning how to get over a hurdle for the first time, or learning how to dive off a block, or whatever sport you can interject there. I love that we are a public education system providing those opportunities that many of our kids would not be able to afford otherwise. And so it always warms my heart to be able to go to these variety of sports throughout the year and support the kids who are just, they're making the best of their opportunity.
Thanks, Karen. Chris and I had an opportunity to come down here. The art show was being displayed, the junior high one was being displayed down here in this room after we had a meeting. And it was so much fun to see our junior high, the talent that those kids have. And it was fun to be able to also walk around, and you could scan a QR code, and then you could give immediate feedback to the kids and tell them what you liked about their picture, which I loved. And I was amazed. Every single junior high was represented. I was astounded by the amount and the number and the quality of the work. So way to go on that. I also want to recognize that we have a lot of our high schoolers that also competed in the one music event that is sanctioned by the Utah High School Activities Association is the Solon Ensemble, and that was last weekend, and it's a pretty prestigious event. And so for any of those kids and those teachers who participated in that, I know the state, the large ensembles are going to be this week. So a lot of work from those teachers and from those students, and just want to give them a recognition for the hard work that they've done there. And then finally, we do, Chris mentioned the bus driver appreciation. We've also had in the past month Administrative Professionals Day, Principals Day, and then of course Teacher Appreciation. I believe any cafe workers was also, that was a day that was recognized earlier this year, paraprofessionals. But I just want to recognize anybody who works in the education. My thanks to you, and on behalf of the board, I think we all appreciate and understand the hard work that it is that goes into that. I appreciate, on a personal note, thank you for putting up with my own children, but we appreciate the work that you do, whether it's a bus driver, making sure our kids get fed, that they are taught, and we have also our recognition for our school crossing guards here today. So if you are in education, would you please stand and be recognized? We want to give you a round of applause. Please stand up. Okay, thank you so much for all your hard work. You absolutely, we need to recognize you for more than a week or a day, but we really appreciate the hard work that goes into making our students successful. Karen has one thing to add.
Okay, I can't read my list because I just got off on sports, but I have one thing that I would be remiss. At the open house today, where we toured the GTI and had a lot of our elected officials to be able to educate them and show them the cool things that are happening here, it was very evident that a lot of our kids are coming from Taylorsville High. So I just have to give a quick shout out to my sister, who is the CTE director at Taylorsville High and is retiring this year. So she has worked so hard, and I think a lot of the reasons some of the kids are taking the opportunity is because there has been such a push at Taylorsville High to educate those kids on the opportunities that await them if they take those pathways. Okay, thanks for indulging me.
Thanks, Karen. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to our recognitions. We're going to invite up first Erin Whitehead for our recognitions for our academic all-states.
President McDermott, members of the board, Superintendent Horsley, it's always a pleasure to be here and to recognize these students. Tonight we're going to recognize the fine art academic all-staters to start, and we've asked our fine art specialist, Noemi Hernandez-Balcazar and Tim Jakubek, to read those, and then we'll do the athletes right after.
Good evening, board, parents, family, and students. Congratulations to every single one of you, by the way. All right, let's get this going. For instrumental music from Cypress High School, Ella Andreasen. Come on down.
Could we have you just name out those individual students, then come up here and shake hands with our board members, and then we'll get a picture at the end, and we can save our applause to the end, if that would be okay?
Sounds good. Next student for speech and debate from Cypress High School, Haley Whitney, who is not here.
Hello, everybody. Noemi Hernandez. From music from Cypress High School, Andrew Paulson. Andrew. And theater from Hunter High School, Tatum Castro. All right.
The following student athletes have been awarded Academic All-State. If we miss any of you, please come punch me in the arm, but not hard, and we'll make sure your name is listed. For girls track and field from Cypress High School, Bryn Polson. From Granger High School, Paige Meters. For boys track and field from Cypress High School, Andrew Polson. From Taylorsville High School, Kai Mikowski. For baseball, coming from Cypress, Cody Densley. Softball, from Granger, Danielle Armstrong. Daniela, thank you. From Taylorsville, Megan Sturzer. For boys soccer, from Olympus, Andrew Norton. From Olympus, Jonathan Danzy. Boys volleyball from Taylorsville, Radley Johnson. Girls golf from Cottonwood, Sonny Ivans. From Hunter, Tara Lynn Peterson. Boys tennis from Cypress, Aaron Johnson. From Granger, Spencer Bentley. From Hunter, Alex Sylvester. From Olympus, my guy, Eli Pingree. From Skyline, Laszlo Otis Paternark. Ladies and gentlemen, please give these outstanding students a round of applause. To achieve academic all-state, basically you need a 4.0 cumulative unless you get like extremely high on the ACT, then they allow for a 3.9. So great job. When you guys are done getting your pictures taken, for all of you, there's a little gift bag out here in the hallway.
Good job, Cypress.
Superintendent, apparently there was a couple that I missed. Jackson Dance from Skyline, Jax Jameson from Skyline, Ty Jensen from Skyline. Anyone else? Okay, come on up. Tell me your name. We'll get you. Okay, Warner Wilson and Carson Stewart from Skyline. Go Eagles.
their parents stand also and be recognized, and families. Thank you for the hours of supporting them in their chosen activity as well as in their academic pursuits. We appreciate the high level of performance that these students go to for this. We're going to go ahead and invite Chief Porter up. Where's Chief Porter? Oh, there he is. Okay, sorry. I was like, where is he? And we have crossing guard recognition.
Superintendency and members of the board, Granite School District is honored to recognize the crossing guards who are devoted to ensuring our students are safe as they travel to and from school. There are more than 250 individuals across 6 police agencies who work every school day in Granite School District. They place their lives and their own personal safety on the line when they go to work. They work in harsh weather from rain and blizzards to the desert heat. They battle distracted and sometimes dangerous drivers, and they do it all to protect our students. On behalf of Granite School District, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of our crossing guards. I will call each agency up individually and ask that any agency or city administrators present join me at the podium. I will then read the names of our crossing guards who are able to make it tonight and ask them to come up to the stage and meet the superintendency and the board, after which a group photo will be taken with each agency. Audience, please hold your applause until after all the names from each agency is read. To start, if I could have Murray leadership come up, Sergeant Chasten Smith, if you're here, or any leaders from Murray. The crossing guards for Murray that we have on our list, and keep in mind this is not everyone, just the people who are able to make it tonight. Amanda Goldsberry, Debbie Arviseth, Laura Lee Thatcher, Dawn Barris, and Joan Cutler. Please come up to the stage.
Oh my goodness.
You guys switch over, we'll spread it. Tell them I don't bite.
Get really close so you can't see us in the background.
They go Murray. Yeah, what's stuck? Perfect, thank you.
Next, we'll recognize South Salt Lake. If Chief Daniel Croyle and any city administration could please come up to the podium.
By the way, we have a treat for you outside as well, so don't leave without taking a big giant cookie that will raise your heart rate and sugar intake.
Sergeant. Thank you for being here. The South Salt Lake Crossing Guards who could be with us tonight: Bob Anderson, Lori Thompson, Roland Stanford, Tanya Gonzalez, Helen Singer, Matthew Stanford, and Sherry Walsh. Please come to the stage. And also Mark Yeager. Thanks, Mark.
And ask for help down the stairs. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I was for Salt Lake City for about 5 years.
Thank you.
Did we shake hands?
We did, but that's okay. I'll shake your hand again.
That's dedicated.
School. Oh, you got a great spot right here. Thank you. That crossing guard is cool. I would wear that. I would wear that.
I see a lot of people walking on the sidewalk.
That's a badge.
What do you want to? The sidewalk.
I tried to stop the traffic.
45 years this year.
Everybody kind of following? Right here. Squish.
Okay, all right, look at me.
Also like rules.
That's right. South side. This is the south side.
Help those guys down.
Next, we'll recognize, yes, thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Chief. Next, we'll recognize crossing guards from Taylorsville. Any city administration, or please come up to the dais. Sherelle Fowers, if you're present.
We have Mayor over.
Oh, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. From Taylorsville, Crystal Naris, Janine Levy, Laura Erickson, Roland Brissett, Wendy Azine, George Hastings, Kylie Jones, Natalie Murphy, Victoria Forster. Please come to the stage.
Okay, short people unite.
She's trying to hide, don't let her hide.
Okay, I'm gonna do it on the cell phone first, and then I'll do it on. Okay. Ready? One. No, stand up. Go ahead. That one.
And by the way, Kylie Jones is also here representing Region PTA.
Yay, Taylorsville.
Next, we will recognize the various cities within the Unified Police Department. Jenny Peterson, if you're here, if you could come up. When I read your name, please come up to the stage and meet the board and the superintendency. Alicia Stevens, Amy Sackett, Ann Visser, Arthur Layton, Bertie Miller, Sarah Salazar, Crystal Pedersen, Amy Hernandez, Angela Hoffhines, April Powell, Betty English, Bob Blaylock, Shantae Baker, Cynthia Chadwick, Cyril Goss, Dwayna Anderson, Gayla Anderson, Heidi Eaton, Holly Miza, Jackie Durbis, Janet Calvert, David Johnson, Eddie Wagers, Gayleen Darby, Heidi Josie, Holly North, Jackie Martin, Jen Reading, Jenny Diamond, Joanne Hawkins, Josie Glenn, Karen Munson, Kayla Hoover, Kim Woodward, Lanny Springer, Jennifer Fillmore, Joanne Moss, Cabri Elegante, Karen Moriarty, Kim Walden, Kirsten Phillips, Leanne Wojciechowski, Leslie Miller, Maggie Redmond, Melinda Layton, Marilee Smith, Nina Roberts, Randall Peterson, Rita Hansen, Lisa Christensen, Megan Ross, Melissa Mortensen, Misty Levitt, Patty Hessian, Rebecca Burris, Robert Darby, Samantha Batty, Sean Hessian, Shayla Fairclaw, Starlyn Lester, Sarah Bone, Shadia Firth, Shirley Parker, Wendy Hill. Please forgive any mispronouncements. And also Ray and Lynn Weber.
Thanks for being out there even when it's freezing and snowing and raining. It's more than I could do. I could not stand it when it's cold and 0 degrees and snowing outside.
Well, thank you so much. That's dedication.
Things like we're going to create another world for you. Enterprise tonight.
Yeah, 16th. It's a Friday. Yeah. Thanks so Where's your Are you there? Oh, yeah. Easy. Thank you so much. Thanks for
Next, we'll recognize the West Jordan Police Department. Patty Jones and any city administrators, if you could come to the front. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Patty Jones. From West Jordan, Janice Briley, Mickey Knowers, Jen Petrell. Are you in the audience?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Small but mighty. Yeah. Okay, so one more.
Next, we'll recognize our crossing guards from West Valley City. Detective Mike Millett, if you could come to the front. From West Valley, Alvin Crown, Amy Rose, Brittany Seeley, Clay Anderson, Diana Harmon, Irene Adolph, Jesse Garcia, Allison Wolstenholm, Andrea Brown, Carolyn Delamere, Courtney Madsen, Heather Fawcett, James Garland, Julie Anderson, Kay Wells, Lindsay Kilpack, Mark Noble, Melissa Fairmond, Renee Wilson, Stephanie Cryer, Wendy Husband, Lynette Knudsen, Maria Hernandez, Mary Keaton, Michelle Gardner, Roxanne Soliner, Tricia Morrison. From West Valley, please come up. Any other West Valley guards? If I didn't call your name, please come up.
We'll get it in a second. You can just set it there. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hi, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Best for last, right?
Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Squeeze everybody in.
I don't need a chair for this. We'll squeeze in just a tiny bit more. You guys can do it.
Everybody say West Valley.
West Valley. Rules.
Again, thank you to all of our crossing guards who have a very tough job and who keep our kids safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Porter. and all our crossing guards, thank you so much for being here tonight, and we appreciate, once again, all that you do for us. We're going to go ahead and go on to the Excellence in Education Governor's Award and invite Rob McDaniel to come on up.
One of your GEA folks was just texting me and saying the streets are not safe right now because all the crossing guards are here. So thank you for pulling them away. It was Sarina. It's an honor to be here. Luca Dal Canto took home the Philo T. Farnsworth Governor's Award, which is awarded to one Utah student for innovation. Luca developed an app about chess, works as a webmaster, runs his own math tutoring business, and self-published a 300-page science fiction novel called Sola. And I'm waiting for my copy, just so you know. His friends call him Mr. Skyline. I know why, but I won't go into that story right now. His favorite genre of music is jazz, and he has been studying jazz improvisation for 7 years. Luca's future plans include an engineering degree at Purdue University. He attributes all of his success to his caring family and extremely supportive friends and teachers at Skyline who have motivated him to be the best version of himself that he can be. If you want to hear him speak before he is officially famous, he will be speaking at the Skyline graduation in 3 weeks. So get your tickets, they're selling out fast. With all of that being said, I will say Luca is one of the most humble young men I have had the opportunity to meet this year at Skyline. I was able to sit with him at the Sterling Scholar Dinner, and he's funny, he's charming, he just gets along with everyone there. He's just a wonderful young man. So it's my honor to introduce an amazing young man, Luca Dal Canto.
Good job, Luca.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Can we have their parents come up? Come on up, you guys.
I already have my autographed copy, so.
You guys want to take 2 steps? Perfect.
And get close so we can't see us in the background.
Just double check.
If any crossing guard cookies left, you can.
You don't have to stick around really.
Rob, what are you doing? Rude. Okay, we're going to go on to Friends of Education and have Superintendent Horsley present these. Karen, I think that's you.
Step down here while Senator Kwan makes her way up to the front here. We normally have a plaque for this, but it has not arrived yet, so I do apologize. But we wanted to take some time to, after the legislative session, to recognize a handful of legislators who kind of went above and beyond for Granite School District and supported Granite School District. In particular, over the last few years, as I've gotten to know Senator Kwan, first as a representative and now in the state Senate, she has always been carefully attentive to the needs of Granite School District, particularly in funding issues. She's been on the forefront of helping us work to obtain funding for some of the security measures that we had hoped to implement, and helps bring some of those issues to the forefront. In particular, she has care and attention to the mental health needs of our students, and that's something that's particularly close to her heart. I'm sure we text each other way too much during the legislative session, but the fact that you're so responsive definitely makes you a friend of Granite school district and a friend of education. And so we're very pleased to recognize you this evening. You did help us out in particular on one piece of legislation which helped codify some transportation pieces and make sure that we were in compliance. So we appreciate your help and support with that. Can we give a huge round of applause to Senator Karen Kwan?
I should come down to the end. Thank you, Senator Kwan. We really appreciate you. All right, and we have our Granite Education Foundation making their way up, so we're going to invite you guys up to come and recognize we've got some amazing partners with our foundation, and we want to take the time to recognize them and what they do.
Yes, thank you so much, President McDermott, Granite Education Foundation Board. I'm off to a good start. School Board, thank you so much, Superintendency. We are honored tonight, so blessed to have a couple of amazing partners with us tonight, and I want to invite them up right now. We have Rich Simon and Danny Worrell from Discover. They are from some of our longest standing partners that have made the most impact here in Granite. We do a lot of really fun and cool stuff with partners with the foundation, and these two lead the way for us in the things we get to do, and we'll just highlight a little bit of the partnership. Most of you, if not all of you, have had the opportunity to come to the Discover Shop-a-thon, which is an incredible opportunity for 400 plus of our kids every single year to get treated like royalty as they first rock the red carpet and then go on a shopping spree. They bring partners together, and I always say my favorite part of events is the work that other people do, right? But in this case, I really appreciate the work they do, but that's not the best part of that event. The best part of that event is that experience that those kids get to have that day. It's humbling in new and different ways every single year, and super awesome. But Discover does so much more for us. They do Discover meal kits, so they give us 1,000 meal kits a month, which is no small chore that we distribute out. But then they also do a lot for our SantaSac program, and Kathy and Sandy made sure to be branded tonight, so you didn't forget what they did for us here in the foundation. But I'm going to let Kathy highlight a little bit of that.
I did a little research today, and I found an email exchange between me and Zadie, 2013. About Discover running a toy drive for SantaSacs. They gave us hundreds of toys, and the following year, they got really smart and they gave us money. It was a lot more efficient, and it worked really well. That check has been tripled through the years. They are our toy ambassador. SantaSacs would not happen without our donation from Discover. It's as simple as that. They make those toys happen. They trust Sandy and me to take their money and spread it as far as we can. So the money they give us, we're finding things on sale for half price and a third price, so we can stretch their dollars as far as we can do them. So, Rich, Danny, you're the reason that SantaSacs exists, and we are so grateful for you. Thank you.
Make it happen.
Hi. Where do we need to be? Right about there? Yep. Here, you two, somebody come stand by me, I don't fight.
I'm scared of you guys.
Kathy, trust me.
Okay, I'll have you scoot in a little bit more, just because you guys live very far away. Okay, perfect.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Foundation, for being here. We're going to go ahead and move on to our elected officials. Mayor, would you like to say anything?
Good evening, Christy Overson, Mayor of Taylorsville. What a delight it is to be with you tonight. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you for the delightful couple of hours that we spent this afternoon touring the GTI and also the budget lunch. First, I had no idea what exists right here on this campus, so thank you for that opportunity, and touring the facility was delightful and eye-opening. The budget lunch, budgets are difficult. They're difficult whether you're a municipality or a school district, but I honestly look forward to the yearly invitation where we can talk about budget and you can explain yours to me. And I was delighted to have some of our council members with me today to the lunch. So thank you for doing that yearly event. And you know, this was really fun. City council meetings are really boring, and we don't clap, we don't applaud. So I just love being here to see how other people do a council meeting or a board meeting. So this was really fun. But also, I genuinely appreciate the partnership that we share. Thank you for helping to shape and mold the young residents in Taylorsville. Thank you for the partnership that we share, and I feel like we are good friends, and we appreciate and respect each other. And Granite School District, you are amazing. Delighted to have Granite School District in the Taylorsville boundary and beyond, but appreciate the friendships and the respect that we have for each other and what we each try to do in our own little sphere and together. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for a delightful 2 hours this afternoon, and for this was really fun. I'm going to stick around just a little bit longer, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Orbison. Senator Kwan.
I just wanted to thank you once again. I feel wholly undeserving of this honor because you do so much work, and I wanted to just say how much I appreciate the work that you do and our teachers. You know, my husband's a teacher in Granite School District, and so I know that the passion and the expertise that you bring to the kids and to the district. I want to echo what Mayor Overson said. The tour this afternoon was amazing. I learned so much, and we need to make sure that we get the word out, right? I want to do my part to get the word out and do all I can to get more money to you guys because you deserve it, and we need it here to take care of our kids.
Thank you, Senator. We're going to turn the time over to Ben.
I apologize. We were so excited to hear from our elected officials that we neglected one of our recognitions. And during the course of this time of the year, we usually recognize employees who have been with Granite School District for a certain period of time. And it's my pleasure to go out and personally recognize employees who've been with Granite School District for 30 years. This employee has not been with Granite for 30 years. She's only been with us for 15 years. And tonight, we'd like to recognize Nicole McDermott, our Board of Education president. So we're hoping to have her around for another 15 years so that we can do this again. But can we stand and recognize her for her service? We have your family here. Come on down, let's get in the picture. Okay, just scoot over this way a little bit. Good. I got the pin here. Tiny pin. You get the gift card at 25.
Go for the gift card. Go for the gift card.
The worst part is she has to stay. She can't go get ice cream. It's like the worst. We always tell our recognition people to go get ice cream after.
I can't leave then? Okay. All right. Thank you. Now I'm all flustered. Okay, citizen participation time. We have two people that have signed up for citizen participation. We have Robin Ivins and Michelle Jones. So we'll go ahead and start with Robin. Go ahead and come up and have 3 minutes.
Did you want me to say my address and all that, or is that not a thing anymore?
We know, well, I mean.
Okay, my name's Robin Ivins, and I live in Cottonwood High's backyard. The baseball field of Cottonwood is my backyard, literally, and we've watched, I'm gonna get emotional, some really great home runs have come into our driveway. It's really fun. For the past 24 years, gosh, why is this so hard? My husband and I have had at least one child enrolled at either Woodstock Elementary, Bonneville Junior, or Cottonwood High. And I believe those are three of the most amazing schools in Granite District. Our youngest of 5 was just honored tonight as an academic all-state athlete. And will graduate in just a few weeks, and that's why I'm an emotional wreck. Maybe Julie, we both have our babies. Anyway, now I can't see my notes. I've seen it all in the past 2.5 decades. I've been in this very room to plead with the board to keep our school open. I've served 7 terms as PTA president in the Cottonwood Network, and I've sat on every community council there is. I founded the Cottonwood High School Food Pantry. I established the Christmas Extravaganza and the Cottonwood Neighborhood Day of Service, and I was instrumental in bringing the first teen center, thank you, to Granite School District. In addition, my oldest daughter was a health teacher at Olympus High and only left because her husband got into medical school out of state. And then my second daughter currently teaches first grade at Oakwood. My children are products of this district. I'm not here to draw attention to the volunteer hours I've given over the years. Rather, tonight I would like to express public gratitude to the Granite, this is so dumb, to the Granite Board of Education, the current and former superintendents, the many principals, and most importantly, the excellent teachers who have given my children a stellar education from preschool through their graduations. My children have all graduated from, are currently attending, or in the case of Sunny, will soon attend top universities in the state. I credit Granite School District for preparing them for this post-high school success. I want to honor each of you for giving your time, energy, and passion to this wonderfully diverse school district. You and those before you have made difficult decisions. Even though you technically did sign up for this, you spent well-earned money to get elected. You probably haven't gotten very many pats on the back. In fact, my guilty pleasure is reading the KSL comments. And so I know what the general public feels about school boards. So at the end, I just want to thank you, Granite School Board, for all that you do for our students and their families in Granite District. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to take personal privilege and say thank you on behalf of the board as well. Robin, we know the amount of work that you have put into our schools, and they are the way they are because of people like you, so we really appreciate you. And by the way, you don't have to have a student in the school to volunteer. And we really appreciate it. Michelle?
I love that I'm coming after that. That's so beautiful. You guys work really hard. It should be acknowledged. Good evening, President McDermott, Vice President Wynn, members of the board, and Superintendent Horsley. On behalf of the Granite Education Association, I'd like to take a few minutes to recognize and celebrate the anticipated ratification of the 2025-2026 professional agreement. Just finalized barely before the May 7th deadline imposed by HB 267. Before any of us knew that we'd be gathering over 240,000 validated signatures, roughly 100,000 more than required, and surpassed the 8% threshold in 25 Senate districts when we only needed 15. This deadline held significant weight. It may still prove critical, as Utah voters now hold the power to decide whether this anti-union legislation will stand or fall. GEA wants to express our appreciation for the move toward interest-based bargaining these last few years. Though time-intensive, this collaborative approach yields deeper, more meaningful outcomes that benefit not just the district, not just educators, but most importantly, our students and families. One such example is the agreement to reduce the K2 FTE from 27.25 to 24. This change in calculation benefits teacher work experience and student learning experience by providing more time for teachers to meet individual student needs, provide more individualized instruction and feedback, and develop more supportive learning environments. This was not an easy negotiations, largely due to the broader political climate. The legislature has placed the district in a difficult financial position, as was just mentioned, reducing revenue from state income tax by millions, while simultaneously imposing unfunded mandates. This has left the district with an impossible equation. I'm a math teacher. To do more with less. We want to acknowledge that challenge and express our understanding. Our ratification of this agreement reflects GEA's continued commitment to a collaborative relationship with this board, one composed of members who value public education, respect the professionalism of educators, and strive to meet the complex and varied needs of Granite students and families. Thank you for your ongoing willingness to engage in critical dialogue. We know it's not always easy. We have hard conversations to have. To collaborate with GEA across many important issues, we also want to thank you for keeping our shared interest where it belongs, on our students and families. So thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, we have up next on our agenda our consent items. These are things that have been out, the board has been able to ask questions or get answers to things on here. So if there's no further questions, I will entertain a motion for the consent items.
I move we accept the consent items, consent agenda.
I'll second it. Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda. Or is there any discussion?
I have something. So, whoops, just a second. So before I vote, one of the items on the consent agenda is the tentative agreement just spoken of with the GEA. And I want to bring attention to the last miscellaneous item in the agreement, which speaks about a study, look at lengthening the teacher contract day. I highlight this because the study mentioned is a big deal to me. It's really, really important. I hope this study is done with the intentionality to open the doors to bring our contract in line with other districts. I hope there is sincerity from the GEA in this, and that this time next year, the study isn't simply swept under the rug and discarded, and this is a concern for me. So I just want to speak to that I'm grateful that we're going to be studying this year, as it's a big deal to me, and I just want to publicly voice my support and bring that study to everybody's attention, as it's at the very, 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 very end of the tentative agreement. So I will be voting to support this, but I just wanted to explain that little piece and why it's important to me.
Thanks, Karen. Kim?
Thanks. Yeah, I have a comment as well. So the consent agenda, as we're all aware, has multiple items on it that we vote on as a lump sum, a group. So there are multiple things in this consent agenda. A couple of things for me. There are software licenses on the agenda that I've made my position known on in the past. In addition, though, I have had a technology issue over the last several days. Last week or so, as I've been trying to vet one portion of our consent agenda, which also includes, or the specific part that I'm referring to is approval of land trust plans from each community council across our district. And I just have not been able to get into that website. Been working with tech, but I've just kind of run out of time. I think we may be close to figuring it out, but we're voting right now. And so I don't feel I can vote on something I've not been able to vet. Again, this is a lump vote on a variety of things, but because I have a chunk of it that I have not been able to vet, I feel I need to abstain from this vote tonight. So I want to be transparent about that. I also, at the same time, want to recognize the collaborative efforts that have been made, that have gone into that particular consent agenda item, ratification of our agreement with the GEA, and thank those who have worked so hard to get it to that point from both sides, and for all, like I said, the collaboration and just the willingness to work together and partner. So with that, I will end my comment. Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Any other comments? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, and Kim abstains. All right, motion passes. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and move on. We have an action item, one separate action item, which is an administrative appointment. If there's any questions about that, otherwise I will entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the action item of an administrative appointment.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve our administrative appointment. Is there any further discussion? Yeah. Administrative appointments.
Plural.
Sorry, appointments. We already got a second. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. And
While Dr. Day is making his way up here, I did want to acknowledge that our consent agenda included ratification of both negotiated agreements with GEA and GESPA. So if you were waiting for that vote, it has been successful.
Okay, President McDermott, members of the board, Superintendent, I am here tonight to announce the appointment of Dr., I should say, Michelle Searle. Will you stand up? She has been selected as our principal for Granite Transition Services. She comes to us from Grand County School District, where she's currently serving as an elementary principal. She has served as principal for Primary Children's Behavioral Health Residential and Day Treatment Facility. She worked as Director of Special Education for Early Light Academy. She taught in Canyons School District as a special education teacher as well as department head, and has taught at West Ada School District in Idaho. She received a bachelor's degree in special education and a master's degree in educational leadership. She holds an educational specialist degree in emotional and behavioral disorders, and is currently finishing and will be shortly awarded her doctorate in educational leadership. Who have you brought with you today, Michelle?
My husband, Tara Searle.
Wonderful. Stand up. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And then we're going to invite John Welburn up to introduce our other one.
Board of Education and Superintendent, members of the executive leadership team, it's my honor tonight to introduce to you the new principal assistant principal at Benyon and Crestview Elementaries for next year. It's Brianna Colley. We have Brianna stand. Brianna has, she's been a teacher with us here in Granite for over 13 years. She's also taught She's taught at Kearns Junior High, South Kearns Elementary, and West Kearns Elementary Schools. And she's currently serving as an intern administrative assistant at Benyon and Calvin Smith Elementary Schools. So it's kind of a nice fit because she's already there at Benyon. So who do you have here with you tonight? That's awesome, and they have been so supportive because they stuck around this entire time. So you probably need to take your kids out to some kind of, I don't know, dinner or ice cream or something to thank them for sticking around. But we've told her that she can kind of sneak out now. So thanks so much for being here. Congratulations.
Congratulations to both of you. We're thrilled.
And I forgot to mention that her mom, Allison Banks, is currently an administrator with us too, so that runs in the family. That's right. So that's awesome.
Thank you. We promise that board meetings are usually not this long. It doesn't take us this long usually to get to these. No, this part. Our board meetings are, but this part, we usually don't get this late.
We're usually farther. Yeah, why does no one stick around for you? I don't know.
Okay. All right. This part should go super fast, right?
The over and under was 8:30, so.
Okay, Doug, you're up. Okay, we have two first readings. We have our parental and postpartum recovery leave, and we have our electronic devices and acceptable use of technology. And then we have a second reading for the guardians in schools.
Great. Board members, thank you. We do have three policies to discuss tonight. The first one is parental and postpartum recovery leave. This is a new policy that is necessitated by a state law that requires, a new state law that requires employees to provide parental and postpartum recovery leave to employees. Parental leave will be available to families in the event of a new birth, adoptions, or assuming the care of an incapacitated adult. Postpartum leave will be available for mothers following child birth. This change in policy will ensure the district will follow state law and provide an important benefit to employees and their children. This policy, as you can see, is created whole cloth. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to respond.
Any questions? All right, I will entertain a motion.
I move that we approve as a first reading Article 9A1P, parental and postpartum recovery leave as a first reading.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve Article 9A1P, parental and postpartum recovery leave as a first reading. Is there any further discussion on this?
I had one question, and it's not anything specific to policy, but Todd or Ben, maybe you can speak to this. What is the fiscal note that comes with this required policy?
500,000?
Yeah, so the leave policy itself doesn't generate a cost because it's a leave
it's
that
the
is already within the,
substitutes.
it's the substitutes that we'll have to cover the cost for.
So about $500,000 of our budget? Okay.
So that
I
was
just couldn't
from
remember that number.
2024 legislative session.
Was it funded? Is this an unfunded? This was an unfunded.
Yeah, I will say that this basically puts the school section of code in line with the state employee section of code. So
Correct.
We're essentially providing the same benefits that have been provided to other state employees.
As required by law, by the newest state law? Okay. Both no funding, okay, got it.
Any other? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. We'll move on to the electronics device and acceptable use technology.
Okay, this policy, board members, we have discussed at length a change to policy that was brought to the board in June of last year. And this policy has been has been very successful. It has been the policy that has driven the use of cell phones in our schools. We did, the Law and Policy Committee discussed at length adding another section to this policy. You can see there in section C5 and 6. It's updating the policy to include language regarding the proper role of screens and screen time in classrooms. This change arose from continuing discussions about appropriate role of technology and both the positive and sometimes negative effects of screen time. This change in policy emphasizes that screen time in the classroom should be used for planned learning and not to keep students passively occupied. If you have any questions about that section, I'd be happy to respond and allow members of the policy or the Law and Policy Committee to weigh in as well.
Are there any questions?
No questions, but I do have a couple comments. I
Do you wanna
see
wait
you
till
were
after?
ready. Did you want to?
Go ahead.
Let's wait for comments after we have a motion.
Okay, well, I move that we accept 8A24 electronic devices and acceptable use of technology 2025. I'll second.
As a first reading.
As a first reading. I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve 8A24 electronic devices and acceptable use of technology. Do we need to put 2025 on the end of it?
Yeah, we do. In fact,
Okay,
I just noticed that.
2025. Sorry, as a first reading. Okay, now are there comments on this? Julie, go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that I think that this policy we really changed last year and included cell phones. And I think that the changes we made have been appreciated. And I think that we can still continue to do a better job implementing, especially on the high school level. And I think that we will make some efforts in that area. It's a really hard thing to do, and I understand that. And we think we're going to see great outcomes when this is applied appropriately. And also, you know, one of the things that we've talked about is going out and finding out how people feel about how electronics is being used in our schools. And so this year we're hoping to go out and get some feedback about that so that we can make sure that we're using them in appropriate ways and strategic ways. And this statement here is kind of a vision statement. And I think we're looking at how does the procedure follow the vision? What procedures should we use? And so while procedure is out of the realm of the board, we're policymakers really encourage that conversation to happen this year.
Let me mention, just so you know, thank you for mentioning that, Julie. And for the rest of the board, we've actually created a survey that is going to be going out to community councils. In fact, that got sent out today. We will be gathering data from community councils regarding their view of this particular provision of the policy. And we'll be discussing it next week in district community council as well. We might even have some preliminary results from our survey that we'll be discussing, and then Rick will also be doing some more, providing some more information regarding kind of the nuts and bolts, the technology itself, the Chromebooks, and how students, the statistics regarding student use of those Chromebooks. So it should be an interesting conversation in district community council, and we'll keep you apprised as to what those conversations are like before the next reading of this policy as well.
And I just, you didn't say this, but it's also something we're strategizing is how to also get feedback from teachers about it, so.
Go ahead.
Board President, may I ask that Stacy notate my comments in the minutes?
Yeah.
Thank you. Just a quick comment, because I wanted to put on the record, when we passed this policy initially, I voted against it. I had concerns then. I still have those same concerns. Tonight, I feel like I'm voting simply on this addition that we're adding, and to me, it surrounds what Julie just described and our intention to kind of study our use of technology in schools, and I'm very supportive of that. So I will be supporting the changes to this policy tonight, but just wanted to be clear, I still do have the same concerns I had in the past. with this policy. So, thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Any other comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, motion carries. We'll move on to our second reading.
Yes, board members, this is the Guardians in Schools policy. You'll notice that we did make some adjustments since our the first reading. This is a short policy, but it lays out the district's required policy provisions for implementing and maintaining a guardian program in our schools. The school guardian is this individual that has been essentially created by state statute to be a first responder and an individual in each school that can respond to threats of violence in the schools. And based on our conversations both in board meeting last month and in law and policy, we did make some adjustments to the definitions. If you have any additional questions or thoughts or concerns about that policy, I'd be happy to respond.
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Move that we accept Article 5A6, Guardians in Schools, as a second and final reading.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Article 5A6, Guardians in Schools, as a second and final reading. Is there any further discussion on this? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks, board.
Superintendent, you have 30 seconds.
Thank you, Mayor. 30 seconds. Teacher appreciation, they're awesome. Been doing a lot of 30-year recognitions, which has been incredibly enjoyable. If you think about 30 years of career in education and how significant that time and dedication and the thousands of students whose lives are influenced by the life of one educator, it's pretty profound. So very appreciative of those teachers in particular. We did have some town hall meetings, and we've scheduled another one later on this month, and look forward to having some additional conversations with our taxpayers, especially as we approach our budget cycle. And we did hold our annual budget luncheon today. I thought that was quite successful to be able to take some of our legislators and other key elected officials around the GTI and show them some of the programs that we have to offer here. It's not well known, despite our fact that we try to publicize that information far and wide. So we're putting the CEO kids to work on the marketing to help us with that. I wanted to give a shout out to South Kearns Elementary PTA. They did a box top, won some $30,000 grant to get some new soccer goals, portable soccer goals at their school, and they invited me out for a ribbon cutting, and then they expected me to play soccer. And I just want you to know that I fell down really hard, and I'm still a little bit sore. So if I'm limping off the stage, that's why. I had to rush over to another recognition with Saeed Sharif from Harvickson, who received an incredible recognition, one of a handful of teachers from across the entire nation, part of the Discovery Channel Teacher of the Year national recognition. And I also found out that he received a recognition as the Public Teacher of the Year award from the University of Utah. So what an incredible teacher, and we're so pleased to have him continue to rack up the hardware out there at Harvickson and represent Granite School District in such a fine fashion. My last thought, I've been teaching out at Granger High this semester, and I've been struggling to help my students engage and share their thoughts on the Constitution and government. So I've tried different ways to utilize technology to get them to share their thoughts, because some of them don't speak English very well and they don't feel very confident expressing themselves publicly. I did have a student who didn't show up till just the very few days before the fourth term started, and we were getting ready to take a quiz. I had not seen this student since the start of the semester. Didn't even know who he was. So I introduced myself. I welcomed him to class. He's never said a word to me. I said, "You're not going to take the quiz today because you'll flunk. So let's get you working on your starters so we can help you get a passing grade." So I said, use the Googler and work through the answers on these solutions and these assignments, and he did it. And he got a C- for third term because he turned in a bunch of work. And he has shown up for class every single day since then. And but still has never said a word to me. We do hand signals to remember the Bill of Rights, right? Like, so freedom of speech, freedom of religion, Second Amendment, pew pew, because it can't be a real gun, right? Because we're in schools. Housing and quartering soldiers, right? We have hand signals the kids made up in my class to remember the first 10 amendments to the Bill of Rights, and he refuses to do it. He's clearly too cool to be able to do that. I know he speaks English, but he's never spoken to me until I was walking into Granger High this afternoon to go to do another 30-year recognition, and he was out on the plaza, and I waved at him, and he said hello to me. He was not embarrassed to say hi to me today, so that was my teacher recognition and all that I ever needed to fill my cup and the good work that we get to do, and I just wanted to share that.
Thanks, Ben. Julie.
My reports on my committees are that we had evaluation committee successfully did Todd's evaluation. We're so glad that we get the opportunity to have such good people work for us. And we will now begin working on our superintendent evaluation. So send feedback about what kinds of things you would like to see on that evaluation.
Thanks, Julie. Kim?
So my Parks and Rec meeting was scheduled right in the middle of spring break and therefore was canceled. We did not have one. But I did want to just point out, I think we all got the email, but for those listening as well, the grand opening at Lodestone Regional Park for their new mountain bike trails is happening this Friday, 3:30 p.m. I believe. So if anyone's interested in being there, I actually will be there. So just if anyone else wants to attend.
Are they still doing the youth pass for the kids for the rec centers?
I believe they are, yes.
They are still going through. Okay.
But yeah, that is all I have this month.
Thanks, Kim. Connie?
We went to USBA, so that's the one committee I'm on, and we're working on building better boards and shortening that. It's 80 pages now and making it like no more than 40 pages.
44.
So that's something new. Talked about the delegate assembly June 6th and 7th. And what else?
We talked about how to advocate at the legislature and a lot of things about we talked about the difference between a nonprofit board and a school board, which is very different, and how those things work.
Yeah.
I just want to give some credit. Like, we drove down to St. George for 2 days. This wasn't just a meeting.
It took you 2 days to drive down?
Down, back. Body breaks.
And I didn't drive, so it was, it was up to Julie.
I did get a ticket. I'll say it on public record. Beaver. They get me every time.
You think you'd learn?
Chief Porter, now I just lost respect.
Thank you for driving, Julie. Maybe. Chris, go ahead.
We have budget committee meeting in June because we do not meet monthly now, so I just want to give Connie and Clark a heads up. And then PTA, just so you guys are aware, they've changed how regions are set up now, and so we won't have a region. I don't know if it's the name of the person, but we don't actually technically will have a region director. So it's made up of some multiple districts combined. And so it'll be different leadership, but I just want to take a second and thank Kimberly Swenson. She's been our region director. She's not here tonight for 2 terms, I want to say. And then she's been on the board for a long time, serving our district. She'll be a different director. So it's an area director. So, but our new, it's not a director. I'm trying to think of the name. Stephanie, help me out if you know. Okay, it's Liz Shellum. If you guys know Liz. She will be over our regional setup now. It's Region 5, but I don't even know if it's called Region 5 anymore. So we'll get the new verbiage for everybody so we can know what we're talking about. We still will be Region 5. Thank you. Thank you, PTA in the audience. And also, they have state convention tomorrow and the next day, which is some of them they're setting up today. So that's why we don't have a lot of PTA, but we have a couple. So thanks, guys. And then that's it. That's all I have. Thanks. Thanks.
There was no benefits meeting in April, but there will be one coming up on Monday. So I'll report that out next month. Real quick, earlier, Julie, we were missing Julie earlier, so can I expound a little bit on the evaluation committee? So earlier we had an executive session when we're discussing somebody's character and competence. That's a closed session for obvious reasons. But just so the public knows, the board actually hires only 2 employees. We have our superintendent and our business administrator. Those are our 2 employees that work for us, and everyone else in the district works for them. And so it's our job to oversee and hold accountable our 2 employees, and that's why we do the yearly review for Todd and Ben. And we held Todd's earlier this evening in a closed session, but I want the public to know that how well he's doing as our business administrator, and I think the board came to a really good consensus of appreciating Todd and his role. When he came into this position, he had a big task of putting in better processes and procedures and being able to work with his direct reports and bring them along to kind of a new culture of, just those expectations, following processes and procedures. Todd is an awesome advocate on the Hill. He's well respected, and he can make sense of any legislative jargon and actually make it make sense to me. So that's good, because there are so many different, especially school finance. School finance is so nuanced and way more complex than people realize. There's above the line spending, below the line. There's capital, there's M&O, and on and on and on. And so he helps not only our board, but our constituency. If we have questions with property tax or anything like that, we know we can rely on Todd to put it in very simple terms so everybody can understand. So I think, what am I forgetting? The highlights are big advocate on the Hill. He knows his stuff. He's bringing all of his directors in line to processes and procedures. He's organizing and serving on committees, the finance, the audit committee. He's on, obviously, budget and a whole bunch of others. And so we just want to publicly say thanks, Todd, for joining our team. And we're happy to have you here. We hope you stay with us for quite a while. And I just wanted the public to know that we do evaluate our 2 employees. We take that seriously as a board. We fill out evaluations. We have good discussions. And just wanted the public to know that that kind of stuff happens. And Ben's will be in 6 months. We offset him purposely.
Thanks. And thanks to the evaluation committee for putting that together. Really appreciate it. All right, lawn policy, you saw most of what we have tonight when we did our first readings and what we talked about there, as well as the second readings. The other thing is just a quick, district community council's coming up, which is next week at Westlake, thank you. It's like it's on my calendar. So let's make sure. 6, yeah, at Westlake. So, so just a reminder about that. And because Clark isn't here, just to let you know, we did have an audit committee meeting and talked about wrapping up a few things. They're in the midst of audits of all of our schools, well, the schools that they're going to do, and we'll get a report on that. They're kind of finishing them up and circling them out and then giving us the report. So if you guys have any specific questions or schools that you're concerned about, please let the audit committee know. And with that, we have reached the end of our agenda, so I will go ahead and adjourn. Thank you.